I don't hear him. Um, Mr. Lugo, are you present? Mr. Dawson, I see you. There was some feedback there. I'm not sure who that was from.
Yes, I am here. Um, I was the one who was absent for a short period of time,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but I did read most, if not all, of the objections that were posted, which was a lot of them. But I think that I am willing to. I would be willing to make a motion at this point.
And you heard the recommendation of the attorney involved as well, did you not?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Um, well, I want to establish whether we still do have a quorum here. And I want to turn to staff. And would you assist in trying to identify whether we have a quorum present? I am addressing those comments to staff. Mr. Castro, are you present?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Huerta, I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Marks, I
Yes.
don't see
Well,
Mr. Lugo present or Mr. Huerta.
you don't believe either of the two are present?
I do not see them. If they are present, would you please speak up?
So we are, if that is the case, unable to take a vote on any motion. Is that correct?
That would be correct, I would imagine.
That is correct, Chairman Marks. I believe the staff is going to attempt to locate Mr. Lugo and Mr. Huerta at this time, if we can take a few moments.
Okay. For the benefit of all those that are part of the Zoom call, we're going to just pause for a few moments and see if we can reestablish communication with two members of the board.
Mr. Marks, I'm trying to
I apologize. I think we've closed the hearing. And
before I gave my presentation, I asked which board members were present because I did not see them. So if they did not hear the presentation, then as the attorney said, they need to abstain if they did not hear their entire presentation. Thank you.
That's understood.
Mr. Chairman Marks,
Yes.
Mr. Castro reached Mr. Huerta. He's calling back in. He could hear us, but we could not hear him.
Okay. Is Mr. Lugo, has he been reached as well?
Mr. Chair, this is Mr. Castro. I'm still trying to get a hold of him.
Okay. If Mr. Huerta would be joining us, and we had then 4 members, which is a quorum, I think we would want to hear from our attorney as to whether that would be a valid quorum.
Chairman Marks and board members, the quorum would be valid. I would suggest as a matter of order that we do continue or take the matter under advisement to allow those members who may not have been present for the entire presentation to review the presentation so that all sides could be heard fully before a decision is rendered.
Okay. And then if we were to do that, would we continue it and make the decision? That would the soonest time we would make the decision be the next official Board of Adjustment meeting?
Unless there's a special meeting called, yes.
Okay. Okay. So, so under those circumstances, whether we reach Mr. Lugo now or not, the advice is that we act to take this under advisement and postpone a decision at the next regular Board of Adjustment meeting. And in the interim, request that the board members who missed segments of the presentation of the hearing avail themselves of the tape that you will have and you will make available to them to listen to. Would that be a fair summation?
Okay. I believe that's correct, although we don't use tape anymore. Chairman Marks.
Well, it would be the video with audio.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. With the, okay, so and I appreciate those comments and advice. Let me turn to staff, Ms. Wells or Mr. Castro, and ask, do you recommend anything in addition to what we just discussed?
Chairman Marks, I don't have any additional suggestions.
Okay, and then taking the action to take it under advisement and continue it until the next meeting is got to be put into the form of a motion and seconded like any other motion, correct?
Correct, Chairman Marks.
Okay, so of the members that are present, Ms. Kubish, Mr. Huerta, or Mr. Dawson, would you so do that? Put into motion taking the case under consideration and continuing the matter until the next regularly scheduled Board of Adjustment meeting, at which time a decision will be made.
Mr. Chair, Bruce Dawson, yes, I would make a motion that we continue this matter until the next regular board meeting, at which time we will all be able to review the material that will be posted by city staff, and we vote on it during the next regularly scheduled meeting.
I think I have one correction, and I hope staff and our attorney can confirm this, that the time in which the board members who were absent for some period, for them to review the video of the hearing would not be at the next scheduled meeting date, would be in the interim between today and that next scheduled Board of Adjustment hearing date. So when they arrived at that Board of Adjustment meeting, they'd be in a position to then vote on the matter.
That's correct,
Agreed.
Chairman Marks.
Agreed?
Agreed, I agree.
Okay, and
Absolutely.
is there a second to that motion?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Mr. Huerta, were you part of that? Not sure we have that connection. I am voting aye. But I count to 3 unless I hear Mr. Huerta or Mr. Lugo.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Lugo is not present. Mr. Huerta is here by telephone.
And are you able to communicate with him?
I can certainly try.
Please, if we could get him to say he is in favor in a manner that we can hear, then we will have a motion that has been carried.
Oh, okay, Mr. Chair, I have Mr. Huerta on the phone.
And Mr. Huerta, do you hear me?
He says he's in agreement.
Okay, he's not able to speak so that we can hear. It's just between you and he. Did he hear the motion, or do you need to repeat that to him?
Mr. Huerta, did you hear the motion? He says, yes, he did.
And he is in favor.
And he is in favor.
We have 4 votes in favor of the motion, and so the motion carries. That completes that matter in this hearing. And I want to ask staff, do we have any other business to take care of today?
No other business, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you to everybody. And that completes the meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you.